What's up, everybody? Glenn with Hustler Hacks here. Merch by Amazon, June 2017. Update and news. So I don't like to talk about this until I actually get paid out from the bank, so I can actually show you guys before I get into numbers, all of that. So that's why it's a little late, June 2017. So let's get started. And like we normally do, I talk about the Merch Minds podcast, our podcast. Me and Young, we're on iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, and we have a private Facebook group. It's growing. If you want to go in there, ask us anything, or you can tag anybody in that group. I'm sure they'll help you out. But cool thing about Merch Minds, we have something really cool coming up. And here it is. If you want to go to hustlerhacks.com/meetup, here it is right here. Type that in. Me and Young, we're going to be in Denver October 5th through 9th. We're not sure what's going to happen yet, but we're trying to do maybe like a mini conference or something that we can talk about techniques, how to improve in Merch by Amazon, and scale up, better numbers, different tips and stuff, but not only from us, but we're trying to get Margaret and the Treasure Gnome, other YouTubers. I think Neil Lassen from Merch Informer also lives in that area. So we're going to see what we can do. But if you're interested in a conference or even just a meetup, you want to hang out, you want to ask us questions, just go somewhere and eat and drink or something, just sign up right here. Hustlerhacks.com/meetup, and you can put in your first, last name, your email address, and we'll just go from there. Contact you when I know everything is 100% ready to go. Since it's October, I mean, it's still kind of far away, but if you're interested and you're in the Denver area, please go here, sign up. There it is. Alright, so now let's get into the numbers and what's going on. So year to date, and looking at this now, I forgot to add in June in there. So 6 full months, $28,473.93 actual profit, not sales, nothing like that. Actual profit coming through my account. Since I'm the only one that does the designs for my account. I don't have any type of designer expenses or anybody that's listing for me, so that's my profit coming in. Since December 2016, if you've been following my channel, and especially these updates every single month, you guys know that I'm kind of counting down and showing when I'm going to reach 100,000 in actual profit. So now I'm a little less than 13,000 away from reaching that goal of 6 figures profit coming in. So pretty pumped about that. We're getting there. But we have a lot of work to do, and I'm going to show you why. I'm not perfect. That's why I like these updates, because I can show you what's going on, what I'm struggling with, things that I've noticed, and just things I can talk about. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that's going to be bragging 24/7 and showing all this stuff while I'm like badass at everything that I do, and I've made 6 figures since I've joined, 2 or 3 months into it, because I know everything. It's not like that. This is my journey, and I'm showing you guys month by month what's going on. And sales have gone down, so at least we can talk about that and why they've gone down. Alright, so speaking of that, well, actually, before we get into why they've dropped, we didn't even show you what the current numbers look like. So and what I actually made for June. June 2017, $3,884.96, and I can go here and show you guys the full breakdown. So that's the thing though, July is probably going to be a little less than this, but still in the 3,000 range, it looks like. But showing you guys month to month, from, actually it's from December 2015, not December 2016. I think someone brought that out to me too. Where am I? Yeah, so not December 2016, 15. So let me go back. Where am I? Now this thing looks like it's lost. Okay, So you can see, I mean, last year, huge difference in numbers. Last year, for June and July, June was actually my best month leading up to that at $6,168. This June 2017, $3,884. So a little bit, well, not half, but it's a little bit more than that, almost 4,000 compared to that, but about $2,000 less. So what happened and what's going on? Well, first off, we know that there's way more competition coming in since I was there in June. A lot of people have joined in since then, but we're going to get into why it's also gone down. My current numbers, you can see here a little bit over 2,300 shirts live, and I can upload 160 per day, 8,000 different t-shirts at one time I can have live, and products sold 157, and my estimated royalties a little bit less than $800, and it's been kind of like that between 700 800 consistently for the last 3 or 4 weeks or so, not just the last 7 days, but more or less. So 800. So I'll probably get like 3,000, 3,100 maybe for the month of July. So that would also go down a bit too. So let's talk about what's going on. Why have sales dropped? So summer slumps. This summer was a little bit weird compared to last summer. Yes, a lot of people have joined since then, but it wasn't just merch and me and Young and other people that saw some type of slumps. I saw it through eBay. When I was gone, I went out of town, which is my second thing, but when I went out of town, I noticed that like I didn't have eBay sales for a good maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like it was just off and on. Of course I turned off the store when I was gone, but when I came back, I was still here for a good while, and nothing was, I mean, a couple of sales here and there. So I was like, oh, what's going on? And on Instagram, same thing too. People were talking about on eBay sales. It kind of dropped, and finally, maybe like 5-6 days ago, it really started to pick up a lot for eBay sales. And I was like, man, what's going on? But then again, I also started focusing more, uploading more, and getting that in. And then all merch was kind of just here. So what happened? Combination of all three. Number one, summer slump. Could be yes or no, but I've noticed it in eBay, and then merch as well for not only me and Young, everybody else. I went out of town. I went to Austin for my brother's wedding, and went again before that to Austin. You guys saw when I went to the garage sales, Chris the Bonafide Hustler. I did all that. But when I was gone during that time, and then again for the wedding time, which is like 4 or 5 days, I didn't upload anything. And that's roughly already, what, 8 to 10 days maybe? Yeah, roughly around there that I didn't upload anything. So that's going to play a huge difference compared to uploading regularly every single day like I was. So, I mean, that's a huge deal. And then I started focusing more on eBay. Obviously, if you follow my other stuff, Ross Finds of the Week and Burlington Finds and all of that stuff, it was like huge cleat season. Found a bunch of cleats, selling those, you know, for like $100 each plus, and they were only like $16.99 at Burlington. So I was really focusing on that. And Outlet Mall and Ross found some really good stuff. And what happens is when you focus more on one thing, you're going to notice better numbers. I focused a lot more on eBay, and I saw a huge difference in my eBay numbers. And then not focusing anything on merch, I saw a decline on that. So when I was building up my merch account, I just made sure that I had 100 new designs every single week, and hit to a point to where I started to add a little bit more on the YouTube videos, and then we had the podcast come up, and then with merch, I was trying to add more and more, and I started going simpler with like just text-based shirts, so I can just get more and more out there. And then I started seeing those, the ones that weren't selling, more and more of them were getting eliminated with the 60-day rule. Now it's 90 days. So things started kind of happening, and that's what happened now, and where I'm at now, why I feel sales have dropped. In order to see results, you have to put in the work. That's what happened with eBay, but it did not happen with merch. That's why I'm here. Okay, observation time. Why or what's going on too? You saw that I had 2,300 live shirts. Now, don't get fooled on what's going on there. I noticed too, going through them, the older shirts that used to sell are not really selling. I have a lot of them too that had to do with like birthdays or dates and things like that. Even though they've sold once, they're always going to be in the system unless I delete them, which I can. But they're more than likely not really going to sell again because a lot of those had to do with like 2016, and I still have them on there, so that happens. I mean, not a lot of these, but old shirts, also why they're not selling. I talked about this a little bit on the podcast. So also building up the merch account, I had two major brands that I used. If you go in there and you're listing your own merch shirts, you can list your own brand. I used two major brands. One of them, at least 1,800 shirts, probably. Another one has, man, I'm not too sure how many. Definitely hundreds. And of course, if you find that one brand and someone's researching, they're trying to come up with ideas, if you find that one brand, more than likely you're going to go through all of the other shirts. And I started to notice this more and more over time, that it was kind of easy research for somebody to just kind of go through my main brand and then kind of not necessarily copy, but get those same ideas, do it their own way, same thing over and over and over again. So of course those ideas start to get more saturated and easier to find. For the new designs that I started to do, designs are selling daily, and it's kind of crazy because these new shirts that I've created, they haven't really even been on there for that long. One of them even sold like a day or two later. So I was like, man, what's going on? And I noticed I had this specific niche that I started to focus on, and now those are really doing good compared to the old ones, which aren't really selling as well. So what can I do to improve, and what can you do to improve to make sure that people aren't taking your ideas or maybe going through that like I'm going through with my older designs? And what you can do is, of course, changing the brand name and making it unique for every single shirt. And I didn't do this in the very beginning because I did notice some sales kind of snowball from the beginning when people were browsing Amazon and they would see my shirt and they would say, hey, these are all the other shirts available from this brand. That helped with sales, but over time, with more and more people coming in, it didn't help with people not necessarily copying my designs, but getting the same ideas and then making it their own and doing that over and over and over and over again. So that didn't help me in the long run, but it did help me in the very beginning. And now what I'm doing, every single shirt has its own brand, and I've been doing that for the new ones. And that has really helped. I've seen that help with some of them, especially in certain niches that people probably aren't really thinking about, and they can't really find it that easily. That's helping me, and that's probably what I'm going to do from here on out for the next shirts that I upload. So that's what I think is going to help me. It will probably help you. It's just something to think about with more and more people coming into the platform, and people might think that that's probably the best thing to do, is like go through shirts that are selling well and then make it yourself. I think that's, I mean, more than likely it's going to get saturated with those same ideas, but try to go through those like different niches that are kind of selling well that people aren't really thinking about, and then make some cool designs, unique taglines based off of those, and see how those work for you. Not necessarily copying the first ones from the first 4 pages, doing it your own way, and then seeing what happens, and then all of those ideas get flooded. And try to get unique on that. Shirts that are already selling is good, but deeper niches that people aren't really thinking about, that's what I think is really, really going to help. So let me go into merch news. And we only had one like Merch by Amazon update in this whole time. We had another one based off of like the apps, but if you're not one of those app creators and you're using certain ads and things like that to kind of promote, then it doesn't really pertain to any of us. But if you're just like me doing random designs and different stuff, different niches, then this is really the only update that we can talk about. So to help better manage your listings, you will be able to permanently delete products with a draft, removed, or rejected status starting Wednesday, July 26th. When deleting live products, they will be immediately deleted rather than updated to a removed status. Live products that are also in a draft or rejected state must be republished before they can be deleted. And we talked about this in the Merch Minds podcast, me and Yang. What's kind of funny is, so now you can go through, the designs and permanently get rid of them. So you might see some older designs if you ever were not necessarily caught, but maybe some trademarked designs on there that you're like, oh man, why did I do this? Let me just get rid of this. You got rid of it, but it still stayed on there. Now's your time to just delete it permanently. You don't have to see it there anymore. And some people I know have kind of got caught doing that, like, well, this was like borderline trademarked. Let's take it down. And now you can just remove it permanently. You don't have to see it there anymore. So it might help you just kind of clean up your listings and manage them well and not just have stuff all over the place. I know I have a lot of draft stuff that I never took off because I was trying different things, and let's see like if it looks good, if it's centered this way, or maybe it needs to be moved a little bit more this way, or moved up to the top for the design. And so I have I have a lot of drafts actually to make the design look better on the shirt. So they're just kind of sitting there. Finally, get rid of them, delete them, and can manage my shirts better. So pretty cool update. And obviously they're just working more and more on this very new platform and making it better month by month, and we're gonna see more and more improvements as time goes on. So really cool that they're just adding new stuff. All right, so that's pretty much it for this one. But if you want to email me, if you have any questions, hustlerhacks1 at gmail.com. Also Hustler Hacks on Instagram, and of course the Merch Minds podcast. If you want to talk merch, you have any type of questions, email me. I try to help you the best way that I can. I know a lot of people that have been emailing me lately are a lot of the newbies getting in. They're kind of stuck. They don't know what to do at the 10 tier and some at 25 tier, but most of them come from 10. And I know that's probably the toughest part you're going to be at right now is the 10 tier and don't know what to do. But remember, Trump does things every single day. So there's always random trending things going on, not only with him, but just random stuff on Google Trends and Twitter and things that you can look up if you want to go to the trendy route. But that's probably your best bet, because right now holidays is looking a little dry until we start hitting October, November, December. Then we have some stuff to look forward to with Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we can get some new designs based off of that. But trending is the way to go. Also keep in mind that school's starting up. If you want to maybe go through student or teacher type of niches, I think that might help right now too if you're kind of struggling. So just keep that in mind right now. 10 tier is very, very tough. But if you're also trying to learn Illustrator or Photoshop, go through Skillshare. I think that will help you and pay the low monthly fee. You get unlimited videos. And I'm still designing for people. Also, if you want to email me here, hustlerhacks1 at gmail.com. I'm still designing for people. If you have like basic 10 tier, 10 designs, I can do something for you. I have design packages, and you have to come up with the ideas though. And if anything seems to be trademarked or anything like that, I'll let you know too. I won't even design them, but you do have to come up with the ideas. I'll design them the best way possible I think they're gonna sell, but let me know. We can work on that. And that is it, guys, for this June Merch by Amazon update. And we'll see you guys next month for July payouts. Remember, guys, go out and get it.